Hello everyone and welcome back to another Train Sim World 2 video. Now today we are back on the Boston Sprinter route. As you can see, we are here at Boston South Station at the moment, pretty much in the height of rush hour. It's very busy here and there's trains continuously coming in and out. Well, we're about to leave in a second, and then probably one next to us will leave as well. But let's get back to the train as we are almost ready to go. We are in the F40, which I really do think probably is my favourite train to drive on the route. Obviously, this was in the Peninsula Corridor route, but that was the Dash 2. This is the Dash 3, which obviously is much more modern. It's got all the bits and bobs here. It's not lapped brakes either. It's much easier to drive and much more relaxed, and the horn on this is just... oh, it's lovely. It is really nice. Let's sort that out. Let's get the reverse in, and I think we are pretty much ready to go. Let's get the front number lights on as well. There we go, they're now on, and yeah, I think we are ready to go. We do have a red at the moment actually, so not just yet, but yeah, this is Boston South Station. Which, in fact, let's close the doors, because sometimes once you close the doors, it then sort of does the objective. So then the doors, well, then it might change. Yeah, it's changed. Let's get the brakes off if we haven't already. Yeah, they are off, and let's get going. But yeah, it's about sort of 35 minutes down to Stoughton. It's a nice drive. Get the bell on, and off we go. But yeah, I think this probably is my sort of favourite service to do. It's just nice, you know, sort of having a mix. So this is a sort of commuter service, but then it sort of runs almost fast down to sort of Route 128, then it runs slow to Stoughton. So it's sort of quite nice to sort of whiz out of Boston, get a bit of speed on this, and then you come obviously right down once you get onto the branch. Yeah, it's nice. Let's bring that down. And the horn on this is just, it's lovely. But yeah, obviously, if you are watching this on release, obviously rush hour will possibly be out in your country. I know in Australia, we actually, when we were streaming it, we did have a couple of people coming in saying they had brought rush hour already. Just obviously it wasn't working at the moment because the summer update isn't out. But obviously once this video goes live, the summer update should already be out, and some of you might have already actually downloaded it. So yeah, who's already on rush hour and how is everyone finding it? Obviously, as soon as I'm able to get it on the PlayStation 5, which will be tomorrow, obviously I'll be heading over as well to the PS5 version. Yeah, Boston Back Bay next. Cool. Got 0.8. Don't know if you can hear that crackling. That's just the phone quickly as we come out of Boston. There we go. That's all good. But yeah, it's a lovely coming out of Boston. I mean, look at that. You got the skyline over there. All the trains. There's even one coming out here. Probably one round this corner. I would imagine probably coming in. Yeah, there's a fair bit going on. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I really do like the F40, and especially the livery as well. Sort of the bright, well, not bright, that's not really bright, but the sort of purple to it. It's a really nice livery. The only thing was sort of MBTA, liven up the coaches a little bit. They're sort of just a line going all the way along. Come on, MBTA, make it a bit more interesting. And also, it's also slightly lighter as well, lighter. Pink on there, so maybe that's just been faded in the sun, not too sure. Right, 0.7. But yeah, obviously I do want to say a big thank you to Dovetail Games for providing us with an early access key, and obviously giving us the key. Much appreciated. Obviously, a lot of you do know I love showing Off Train Sim World. It's sort of my main passion is trains. So yeah, TS and TSW most will always be the main game on the channel. Right, anyway, we are coming up to Boston Back Bay Station now. Looks like we're going to be coming in on the sort of middle platform. So track 2, I believe it will be. That's what we'll be coming in on. I do sort of like this first section, from South Station to Back Bay, sort of fairly slow, sort of weaving out us in Boston. As soon as you get past Back Bay, it's like nil. It's like whoosh. You're going quick past there. Let's get the bell on. I don't know. I love the horn on this. It sounds weird to say that. I love the horn on it. I know I say it so much, but it's brilliant. It really is good. 200 yards. Let's get that down. And obviously, yeah, this is a pre-release build. You might see a few FPS drops. You might see a few issues. They should then be sorted by the public release, which might even be now when you're watching. So, I never knew you could do that. I've just worked out how to use the independent brake. That is the... oh, we've stopped a bit past, but I always go to the end of the platform anyway. So I don't think there is any really specific place to stop. There's no sort of stop marker, I don't think. So that's how you use the independent brake. So you use the what they call brackets. Brackets. A bit embarrassing not to know that, but cool. Yeah, Back Bay Station is a nice station. I know it sits underground. There's not much to see, but it is nice. I see a diorama over there. Obviously, someone sitting there. Let's try and get a nice screenshot before a train does come in. Obviously, it's a fairly busy station, so you do get trains coming in and out quite regularly on this. But I mean, look, as soon as I say that, one comes around the corner into the station. But yeah, it's fairly busy. Let's get the doors shut. The doors are now closing. Closing, closing, closing. And let's get going. Cool, but this is like the quick section of our journey today. I mean, we can get up to pretty much 90 miles an hour. So yeah, it's fairly quick from here on out to Route 128, which I did originally think was a park and ride station, but no, it's not. It's just called Route 128. Someone actually did a really good example. I mean, London Road Station on East Coastway. It's just a road, isn't it? And obviously in the US they call things, Route 128. But then I think it was AC who did make out there's not a station in the UK called the A34. But yeah, you get what I mean. It's named after the road, which I suppose the station's on, or what goes over the station. Which makes sense, obviously then people sort of know where it is. And the speed goes up in a second. Lovely. Right, let's get that up. Let's get going. I love the horn though. So we'll be running fast through a couple of stations tonight. Well, not a couple, a fair few. Obviously that being Ruggles. No, Ruggles. I keep calling it Ruggles. Ruggles. There's another one. Hyde Park. Yeah, I think that's all. Oh, and Reedville. Cool. Let's go. Love it. But yeah, if you are watching on release as well, obviously I will be streaming this today as well, because obviously the PlayStation 5 version comes out this evening, which I think will just be for this DLC, and I think in the future it will be back to sort of normal midnight. There we go. There's Ruggles. Yeah, been enjoying this, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content as well. And I have made a specific place for rush hour content. Obviously this will be for the North East Corridor, Rita to Dresden, and the Brighton Main Line, obviously once the other two are out as well. Pretty much the first sort of 3-4 days of content to do with rush hour, you will find it in that playlist. And obviously after that it will just sort of be chucked into the usual TSW playlist. Just so you can sort of find all the sort of main videos which I've done of, well, of this route and sort of the first few days. I think there's already about 10 videos in there or so, and obviously this will be the 11th. Well, so there probably will be a fair bit if you're watching in a few weeks or a few months. 8.4 miles, and we're due in there in around, what's that, 5 minutes? But it feels like you're going too quick once you get back. Obviously, yeah, the top speed on the Peninsula Corridor route is obviously 79 miles an hour. So when you get above this, on this route, it's like, well, we're going quick. I mean, this thing can get up to 100. At least I've got the cab car up to 100, and this is the power of the cab car, so I should be able to get up to about the same speed. But yeah, it's just great seeing this whizzing along at this sort of speed. I mean, the whole route in general, there literally is something for everybody on this route. The only thing, obviously, the route doesn't have is freight. But Matt did sort of hint that. Obviously, you can see freight trains knocking about, but you can't actually drive them. But Matt did say, you know, for in future, so you never know. Oh, we've got another train here that's busy. But yeah, you've obviously got the old stuff, obviously the cab car being sort of the old thing. Obviously got the slightly newer stuff, obviously being the F40 PH-3, and obviously the proper modern locomotive, which is the ACS 64. Obviously you've got fast express stuff, you've got slow commuter stuff, you've got a bit of sort of in between, you've got a bit of everything, which does make this DLC just great. Right, we're going about 87 now. I've still got 6.2 miles to Route 128. The scenery is fairly similar, but we're sort of getting out into the countryside now. Well, not really, we're still quite far from the countryside, but a bit more suburban now. But so yeah, sort of for the first 4 or 5 miles out of Boston Back Bay Station, it is, you know, sort of in a trench going through Boston. But now we're starting to come out, we're sort of just at a normal level now, just going through a tiny little cut-in. Right, 90 miles an hour. I think we should get a flyby shot. Let's whiz ahead and watch this purple train whiz by. Or purple or pink? What are you going for? So obviously the coaches are pink and the loco is more of a purple. But I think it's just because the other ones have sort of been faded out in the sun. Brilliant. Cool, let's get back in the front. 92 miles an hour in this. Wow, I don't think we actually ever did a speed run in the F40 PH-2. Ooh, idea. An idea has come to my mind. Why don't we race the one from Peninsula Corridor against the one on here, the -3? Well, see, I reckon probably the -3 would be quicker because it's the newer one. But that would be cool to see, though. The Battle of the F40. We'll have to do that. I'll probably do that on the PlayStation version, as I don't think I've got Peninsula Corridor on this one. So 3.8 miles. I think we're coming up on, yeah, this is Hyde Park, I believe. And then it's Reedville, and then it's Route 128. Lovely. I was just thinking to myself, how can you not love a train game? Just as we were sort of whizzing through that station, the sensation of the speed, just everything. I was just thinking, yeah, how can you not love a train game? Like you get. I know people who say that, but you get people who are like, oh, what a boring game. Why would you play a train sim? I mean, why wouldn't you play a train sim? It's just the most chilled out. Well, at times it's chill. It's just great. Yeah, it really is great. I've got a train there, probably going into Boston. Obviously, you can get hours of entertainment out of this. Hours. I mean, maybe you guys haven't spent as much time as I have on here, but I've spent a lot of time on T and even TS. And I think I've got. Well, obviously, I don't usually play the PC version, but I think I've got about 2,000 hours of TSW on. This is 2020 and TSW2 combined. about 2,000 hours on there or something like that. And then for TS I've got like 300 hours, but obviously I've only started getting back into it now, since we obviously got the PC. Yeah, it's just, I spent hours on this and it never gets boring. Because, I mean, yeah, if you get bored of one route, there's like 25 other routes to play, so... And obviously tons of different trains and just things you can do. You could run an F40 on the Bakerloo line. You could... There's just so much to do. Endless possibilities. Oh, there's another train here. You're not short of trains on here. But we are going fairly quick, and I don't know how we have managed to... Right, there we go, that's more like it. Let's start bringing that down. So when I do this horn, you just think, that's an American train horn. Like, that is a proper train horn. Right, we do need to come down a bit more. I don't know why the brakes have sort of just left us. I don't know what's happening there, but the brakes sort of just weren't doing anything. So, well, we're going to stop pretty much on the marker. That's decent. Yeah, it looked like the brakes sort of just gave up on us. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because, I mean, they're probably just like, we can't really bother to stop. They wanted to embarrass me. But, the train has fit in the platform, so, yeah, it's all good. Right, it's Canton Junction next. Providence. Obviously, yeah, this is a fairly busy station. Obviously, you get the ACS services stopping here, as obviously, as well as the Stoughton services, the MBTA services. So there's a fair bit going on here. Yeah, there's quite a few departures. I mean, the next one is... When's the next one? Oh, I thought that was 9. Okay, so it's a little bit of a gap between... Well, until the next one. But I think sort of most of the trains of sort of the rush hour period have probably now gone. As obviously it's 8:30 now, so most people will sort of be... Well, I mean, we're going out of Boston. So I don't think anybody would be commuting out of Boston. Unless you worked in the countryside. I mean... Is there such thing as reverse commuterism? Where you commute from the city to the countryside? I suppose if you're some sort of farm worker, then maybe. Let's go. We are off. Oh, let's get that down. But yeah, hopefully everyone is enjoying the content. Obviously, if you are enjoying the video, do leave a thumbs up and do subscribe for more. It all does help out. Obviously, yeah, plenty more Rush Hour content to come. Obviously, at the moment it's on the PC, but obviously going over to the PlayStation soon enough, and then we can see how it is on there. And also, once we are on the PlayStation, I believe it also will be the next-gen version. So it'll probably look very similar to this, but just run better. Obviously, well, it'll probably run better than what my PC runs. But yeah, that's going to be cool. You've got some bits and bobs here from box wagons from Sandpatch Grade. As you can see, knocking about on the route. Nice little details. Hang on, we're due there at 8:47. It's 8:40 now, and it's only 3 miles away. Probably going to be quite early. Brilliant. Let's try and get a nice shot. We might actually have to wait to cross the main line, I think, possibly. We seem to be getting yellows at the moment. So yeah, we might have to wait for something to cross the main line. And yeah, the speed at this stage is about 125, and once I think you get past Sharon Station, it goes up to 150 miles an hour. 150 miles an hour on an American route. It's crazy. Obviously, the ACS doesn't get up to that speed. Obviously, the Acela gets up to that speed. So maybe in the future we will see that as a DLC. You never know. Right, it comes down to 45 in just under 2 miles. Lovely. Let's bring that down. As you see, the 45's coming up, and we're in no rush to get there whatsoever, as we are due there at 47, and it's 41, and we're just over a mile away. Which it does seem you do arrive at Canton Junction fairly early, which is good because it sort of gives you sort of a little sort of, you know, pit stop, go for a loo, get a quick drink. That's a nice sort of, well, not a halfway stop, and we're well over halfway, but just a nice little stop before you get onto the branch line. Another service here. Let's come a little too. Lovely, there it goes. Yeah, 1 mile, and it comes down to 45 fairly shortly now. In fact, I think I can actually see where the station is. I mean, it's pretty much past that bridge just ahead of us. You can sort of see it loading in now. But yeah, we will be arriving fairly early, which yeah, does give us time to have a bit of a pit stop. But yeah, one of the services we did actually do on the stream, I think it was actually sort of the one, but it might have even been the one we actually just saw, or we might have sat waiting there. Yeah, we waited for about 8 minutes at Canton Junction. Obviously, this was going towards Boston. I think we waited for about 2 trains to pass by. It was quite exciting. Sort of, you know, just waiting there, seeing all the trains getting into Boston. But that was about rush hour time as well. It was brilliant. In fact, I think it actually was that train we just saw passing by there. Although I still want to sort of pull up here and then see an ACS whiz through at max speed. Now that would be cool. Although we haven't seen an ACS yet, so there is a possibility. There we are, give me a little toot. And this station is blooming manic at times with AI, obviously people. Right, coming up to the higher up platform here. Which I think possibly at the moment, obviously this is pre-release build, I think it is missing the ramp and stairs and the little shelter. But it might be what it is like in real life, I'm not too sure. Which you can already see the next stop, the Canton Centre. Here we are, let's get the doors open, and we are running nice and early. About 4 minutes early, so not just a little bit early. Let's get another good shot. Actually, now I can take screenshots, and if it does upload, it's all good. There we go. Right, let's see what we've got. Let's have a look at the PIS. So, let's go over here. Next train is at 9:07, so there might be a fast one we see go through, possibly. What about on this side? Providence 10:01. Yes, it's quite a while until the one. We probably just missed the one, or might have been just ahead. Let's have a look. Any fast trains? I want to see a fast train whiz by as we're waiting here. Well, we did earlier. We saw a fast MBTA service whizzing. Oh, what's this? No, that's not a fast one. No, I don't think we'll see a fast one going through. Or probably as we're looking at the map, it will go through. Yeah, I don't think there's anything at the moment. Anything down in Providence? Yeah, I think it's quite quiet at the moment on the line. I mean, rush hour's just gone. Just missed the main busy period. So it's sort of a bit quieter now. Well, still fairly busy. Yeah, but look at the loco though. I mean, it does look good. Cool. Wonder what country we're in. I swear every US train has a US flag on it. Pretty certain. Well, I'm not too sure why the stars are on this side of the train. I suppose it's just opposite to this one. But actually, no. We're actually looking at some photos. It's like a design thing. And it is actually like this in real life. not really too sure why. I suppose it simply is just opposite. But yeah, I did actually have a look at this in real life, and yeah, it is like that as well. Even on the ACS 64. Look at everybody. Look at the amount of look at the amount of people going across here. I think it's what 200 people or something mad like that. I mean, that is like crazy. I mean, it almost looks like a Falmer on a football day. Obviously, Falmer on the East Coast on a football day, packed with people. A fairly similar sort of bridge design as well. Yeah, packed with people. But yeah, it really does give you that rush hour feel, doesn't it? They really have, yeah, achieved that. Well, we've got about a minute left until we can leave. There's not many trains, is there, from here? 10:13's the next one. It's quite quiet, isn't it? Along the Stoughton Branch. It seems more sort of peak times they run a service along it. What about on this one? Oh, there isn't actually a service in a little while. So it seems the Stoughton Branch is more just for sort of the evening and morning sort of peak times, I guess. Doesn't seem like much runs along here sort of, you know, midday-ish. Which I suppose there's just no need to run a train down here. Might be a bus service or something which is more popular. But you do see quite a lot of the trains. Obviously once they get back to Boston it will then say, oh, we're going to Providence now. So the Stoughton services, there isn't actually many of them then. I think there's still a fair bit, but I mean, yeah, there's not as many. Right, let's get the brakes off. Yeah, that's the right way. Throttle up. Bell goes on as well. Which obviously, if you haven't seen my tutorials, obviously if you want to sort of get ahead of the game, do check out my tutorial guide for the F40, the ACS 64, and the CTC3 cab car. Obviously on how to set it up pretty much. So obviously, you know, if you are new to the game or new to the train, and obviously not everybody does do the tutorials, but yeah, you might want a bit of a sort of extra help. But yeah, do check out that video if you do sort of want to know how to get the train set up and just get moving. Right, the Canton Centre is actually just here. They literally are the closest stops on TSW. Although you do get some closer on the underground, but I mean that's the underground. That's made to be very close. So this is a overground sort of service. Right, let's get that on, and this is Canton Centre. Sort of a nice little station on the single track line up to Stoughton. I keep saying it different every time, don't I? Stoughton. But yeah, here we are. And oh, come on, a little bit more forward. Oh, hello. I think they've updated this already, actually. I think they have, actually. Remember, on the last video we did, these barriers here, I don't know if they do update the pre-release build. I suppose, probably. But yeah, these weren't working before. These are now working. Oh, hang on a second. I suppose they might go down in a second once we get moving. It might be because it thinks we're not. It might not recognise there is a station there, so it's not considering the amount of time we're sitting there. So I suppose it thinks we've gone through. Obviously, I suppose once you get to sort of over there, it might then go down. I think that has been already reported over, so I'm sure that will be sorted by public release or very soon after. Obviously there is always a patch out a couple of days after. Anyway, let's get back into the train. Let's get the doors shut and let's get going. So we'll have to go crazy with the horn going across here. Let people know we are coming through. But let's get a... oh, hello. No, you're not going that way. That's back to Canton Junction. It's quite a steep grade to get up to Stoughton. Let people know. We are going across it. There you go, I think people know. So yeah, but all good. Let's get back in. And let's get that up. But yeah, it's fairly steep. Obviously, I don't know. Actually, I know what I can do actually. As I don't know percentage in terms of the gradient stuff. So I'm going to have that in ratio. It's much easier to understand. There you go. So it's a 1 in 130 uphill, which yeah, is fairly steep. I mean, not steep, but that's still a fair gradient for a railway. We continue up. Cool. Oh, apologies, everyone. I don't know what it is, but it's sneezing a lot recently in here. Cool. 2.6 miles to Stoughton or Stoughton, or someone did actually put in a proper. I think it was in one of the Railfan TV preview streams. I think it's actually Stoughton or something like that. So it's pronounced a bit differently. But to me, that would just be Stoughton. But yeah, apparently it's Stoughton or something along those lines. It's running surprisingly well. I mean, I probably jinxed it now, but yeah, this service has been running very smoothly. Across we go there. Oh, it's a bit steeper now, 1 in 102 gradient. So that pretty much, if you don't know, it means every 102 meters we're going forward, we're going up by 1 meter. Which on the Erosa line is about a 1 in 17. And think about 17 meters, that's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. So 100 meters, I mean, for a sort of, you know, standard gauge railway like this, that's a fair bit. And obviously on Sandpatch grade it goes to, I think, a 1 in 60, which for a massive freight standard gauge railway, that is, yeah, that is pretty crazy. The trains will struggle getting up. But yeah, what does everyone use? Do you use ratio or percentage? Because I don't understand percentage in terms of gradient. I guess it, but it's just, I don't understand it as much. Cool. 1.3 miles. There's a fairly slowish part of, well, it's not slow, it's 40 miles an hour, which isn't, well, it's not slow, but it's not quick. But it remains at this speed up to Stoughton, however you want to pronounce it. Across we go. It's saying 20 miles an hour on my in-cab signalling thing. I think we'll be alright going about this speed. I don't think I actually do have the fuse on for it, so it might not be. It might be a bit confused at the moment. Until obviously I turn on the fuse, and it might tell me exactly what's going on. Another crossing. There we go. Let's get that up. Got a 10 miles an hour limit coming up, so we need to bring that down. Cool. Let's bring that down now. Yeah, anyone been on the Stoughton branch in real life? Anyone been on here before? Then what is in Stoughton? Well, what's here? Is it just a little town, or? Yeah, well, what is here? And it can't be anything major. It's only got a little branch line off to it. Let's get the bell on. Cool. Get that a bit more. Stoughton, here we are. I think I'll stick with that for now, Stoughton. So I think it is how you pronounce it. Or is it? I don't know. But I know in one of the preview streams someone sort of came in and like, oi, that's how you pronounce it. Doesn't look like a lot here. It's like a little town. Yeah, just a little town. What's that over there? Is that a hot air balloon? Don't know. But it's a weird station. It's sort of, the platform is split in half by a level crossing. Yeah, it's an odd station. Yes, I do notice the PIS isn't on. It's pre-release build. Right, let's coast it now. Yeah, bit of an odd station. I don't know if the sort of bit here after level crossing was some sort of add-on. But yeah. Here we are, stop just before the points. Here we are. Let's get the doors open. Everyone get off. It's busy, isn't it? Wow, it is. Oh no, the PIS is on now. Hang on, what? Oh, this one's on here. There you can see the service frequency. So this one goes out at 9:14, so you get a nice turnaround time here. I suppose lock the doors. I'm guessing that will work. Right, get the doors back open. Not too sure, but I think we'll call that an end. Obviously, thanks all for coming in. Actually, people are still getting off. Obviously, we'll find a link in the description to the Discord server, to the PayPal, and to the merch store if you do want to help support the channel. But yeah, thanks for coming in. Do leave a like, do subscribe if you do want to see more, and hopefully we'll see you next time. See you all, and take care. Bye, guys.